sports news. Good news for Nigeria, Team Nigeria that is, at the ongoing Commonwealth Games, as it has struck first African gold medal in the weightlifting event. Chika Amala lifted 196 kilograms in the women's 53 kilogram category to ensure that Nigeria leads the way for Africa in Glasgow, Scotland. Dika Tua of Papua New Guinea won silver with a 193 kilogram jerk, while India's Santoshi Matsa lifted 188 kilogram to grab the bronze. Earlier, Nkechi Okpara had earlier won bronze medal in the women's 48 kilogram category. Sir Bradley Wiggins' hopes of winning Commonwealth Games gold in the men's team pursuit were dashed by a brilliant performance from Australia in the final in Glasgow. The English quartet of Wiggins, Ed Clancy, Stephen Burke and Andy Tennant fell behind early in the 4-kilometer 16-lap gold medal race and were unable to regain parity. They were 1.4 seconds down after the first 1 kilometer, 2.8 seconds adrift from after 3 kilometers, and then ended up crossing the finish line more than 5 seconds behind the reigning world champions. Australia's superb time of 3 minutes 54.851 seconds was a new Commonwealth Games record. Well, the bid for the vacant Bafana Bafana coaching position is believed to be a two-horse race, which will be settled at the South African Football Association's headquarters in Johannesburg this weekend. Since SAFA's decision not to renew coach Gordon Ingerson's contract beyond August, speculation about his replacement has centered on Carlos Queiroz and Stephen Keshi. Whatever SAFA's decision, the new Bafana Bafana manager will have to hit the ground running as South Africa begin their campaign to qualify for the 2015 African Nations Cup in less than 2 months. English Premier League giant Chelsea has announced that former striker Didier Drogba has returned to the club on a 1-year contract. Drogba left Chelsea on a dramatic high in 2012, scoring the winning penalty kick in the shootout, which clinched the Champions League title against Bayern Munich, the crowning moment of an 8-year stay with the Blues. The 36-year-old joined Shanghai and then Galatasaray, but once his contract with the Turkish side ended, he became a free agent. He scored 157 goals in 341 games in his first spell, winning 3 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, as well as the Champions League. Lithuania's Ramūnas Navadauskas claimed an unexpected solo victory on stage 19 of the Tour de France as Vincenzo Nibali avoided a late crash to return his overall lead. Navadauskas' surge cleared just under 14 kilometers from the finish in Bergerac and thwarted the chasing sprint teams by hanging on to win by 7 seconds. Because the crash happened inside the final 3 kilometers, all riders were awarded the same time, meaning Nibali, who managed to stay clear of the incident, retained his 7 minutes 10 seconds lead over Thibaut Pinot in the general classification, with Peru remaining 13 seconds further back in third, despite finishing a couple of minutes down. Navadauskas made history by becoming the first Lithuanian to win a stage of the Tour. And that's it in sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Unveiling the new look of Guinness. Discover a colorful world of more.
On the foreign scene, and while accusations continue to go back and forth on the Malaysia plane that crashed on Thursday, Russia is unhappy at all the negative press it's been receiving. The Foreign Ministry in Moscow says it rejects unfounded public insinuations from the U.S. government that it provided missiles used in bringing down the plane. The Pentagon says it believes the movement of Russian heavy-caliber artillery systems across the border into Ukraine is imminent. The U.S. says it's likely the rebels shot down the passenger jet with a Russian-provided surface-to-air missile, probably by mistake. Now, since the accusation started, Russia's been denying that it sent heavy weapons into Ukraine. However, rebel leaders have been giving conflicting accounts of whether they had control of a launcher at the time the plane was downed. Well, VOA's Carolyn Prasuti joins us now with more on the investigation attempts into the crashed plane.
This week, hearse after hearse drove through the Netherlands, carrying the bodies of those who died aboard Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, shot down over Ukraine. The convoy headed toward a Dutch military base, where the names of the passengers will be matched with their bodies. 200 of the 300 who died were Dutch. Meantime, the investigation continues. UN officials are deploying an international force to secure the crime site, spread over a wide range in rebel-held eastern Ukraine. U.S. intelligence analysts say it was an SA-11 Buk missile that was fired by what was thought to be poorly trained rebels who thought that the 777 passenger plane was a Ukrainian plane. U.S. investigators say the debris could show a missile signature, similar to a shotgun pattern, which would indicate how close the missile was before it exploded. Other investigators are studying the readout from MH17's black boxes, the flight data recorder and the voice cockpit recorder, which would show the pilot's perspective moments before the missile hit. Investigators say the information is contained on a memory chip that could be tampered with, but officials at first thought said they don't think that that was done. Officials from Boeing, which manufactures the 777, and from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board are assisting in the investigation. For Channels TV, I'm Carolyn Prasuti, VOA News, Washington.
Now, thanks a lot, Carolyn. And we're also keeping our eye on the Middle East, where the Israeli offensive in the Gaza Strip may go on for longer, as the Israeli Security Cabinet this evening rejected a peace plan proposed by the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry for a ceasefire. Hamas has yet to respond to a proposed ceasefire, but its leader has already said the group will not consent to the deal without Israel ending its blockade of the Gaza Strip. All right, on a lighter note, we're moving on to entertainment. And the video for Maven Records' all-star hit song, Dorobuchi, is finally out. Here's Maiwa Ugundele with the details.
On entertainment news tonight, organizers of annual Urban and Hip-Hop Culture Awards, the Headies, have announced the 9th edition of the event, billed to hold on Saturday, October 25th. Since its inception in 2006, the Headies has recognized the distinguished achievements of artists and entertainers in a number of categories, including rap, R&B, dancehall, and alternative. Organizers are now calling for music submissions for possible nomination in any other categories ahead of show day. Don Jazzy led Maven Records as premiered the video for its first all-star track, Dorobuchi. The video featuring Don Jazzy, First Lady Tiwa Savage, Dr. Sid, The Prince, and new acts DJ Correde Bello and Ricardo was shot in South Africa and directed by Nick Rocks. Off to Nollywood, where popular actor and producer Desmond Elliott has revealed plans to venture into politics. The actor-cum-producer, who says is taking the bold step for the sake of Nigerian youth, adds that, and I quote, "The worst part of our national life is that the level of corruption has not allowed youth to understand what it means to live a meaningful life." End of quote. Elliott's announcement is coming shortly after actress Kate Henshaw's political ambition to run for the House of Representatives was announced via social media. Nigerian entertainers are taking their lives into their own hands as they have come together to launch the Nigerian Entertainment Industry Health Trust Fund. The lecture series on health insurance, which heralded the first Nigerian Entertainment Industry Health Insurance Convention, is expected to help practitioners preserve their own future as well as their families. The event was hosted by Julius Agu and was attended by entertainers from the movie industry to the music industry. On the foreign scene, the return of the original Star Wars actor Mark Hamill to the franchise after more than 30 years has been described as an unexpected gift. The 62-year-old starred in the 3 original Star Wars films, the first of which was released in 1977. When the franchise was revived in 2002, the Luke Skywalker character was only seen as a baby A Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. Episode 7 so far is due to be released in 2015. Well, that's it on entertainment. Let's get back to the main news.
Well, thanks a lot, Mayowa. And the main news again. The first Ebola virus victim in Nigeria has died in Lagos, and the Minister of Health, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, has advised Nigerians to be vigilant and take the issue of hygiene more seriously. And the Nigerian military has announced the arrest of a man believed to be behind the explosion that hit General Muhammadu Buhari's convoy in Kaduna on Wednesday. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. Metrofile is up next, followed by a focus on Africa. Soon do join us for that. I'm Ijoma Bonyato. To have a great weekend.